Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Ryan Zolik, myself, with Drew Schulenberg and Christopher Clark here tonight. We got another edition of Fair Valley Performance. We got 4 in total, and this will be the third one that we're going to watch tonight. We're also going to talk with Jamie Stevens with the Tobacco Town Showdown tractor pull this weekend. So take her away, Drew.
Yeah, I guess we're watching part of our footage. So I guess I didn't even the last one. I guess I was out of town, but a little walk through the shop and talking with all of our technicians and seeing a little bit of what we do behind the scenes at Fair Valley. So
very cool to see. Every time I think you go there, you learn something. You know, I learned something new about the industry and fuel injection and injectors and lines, and it's just crazy the technology that's in all that.
Yeah, and it keeps changing. I've been there about 11 years. Still learn new stuff daily, it seems. Well, keeps it fun.
That's awesome. Ryan, you got the video queued up?
Yeah, I'm all ready to go.
All right, let her rip.
What's your last name, Drew?
Drew Schulenberg. I've been here about 11 years now. General manager. I've been filling in with the service manager in the fuel shop now as well since January. So I guess I pretty much handle all the financials behind the scenes, income statements, all of that, as well as managing the technicians' workflows, creating work orders. We can order parts, pretty much everything there is to do, I guess.
So. Well, you did me a good one the other day on a tractor with a Cummins part. Cummins wanted $600 for the part, and New Holland wanted $300, and you found it for $50.
Right.
Brand new online. That's good. It's good to know a guy like this knows how to do that stuff. And it was I mean, I would have struggled doing it. Sure. But you've been doing it a long time. And you know where to source your stuff.
Yeah, I know a lot of the backdoor routes, I guess. You got all your turbo manufacturers, your Garrett, Holset, Borg Warner, probably the biggest 3, but of course, Cummins and Cat and all them, you know, they get all their stuff through those vendors. Yep. But then they add their markups, of course. So we have a lot of sources where we can get them right from the manufacturer and bypass the middlemen.
Right.
And save time, the big thing.
Get it the next day is a big deal. You know, you've gotten all our truck turbos, tractor turbos, anything that was out of warranty. We come down here and just they find us whatever we need every time. You know, and it works out. And then a lot of places you go, you want the turbo, but you don't know you need this gasket or this thing here with it, and you guys will tell you, hey, if you're getting this and you need to put this on it with it. I mean, that's a lifesaver. I get the turbo, yeah, but then I don't have the other stuff I need to put with it. Well, you guys, with your experience, know what you have to buy with that piece to make it work.
Right. We always go the extra mile, whether it's the pulling or the stock stuff. It's by the time you get the part in your hands or the pump in your hands, we want you to have every piece, every gasket you need to hopefully to install it without having to chase around for another day or 2.
Right, because there's nothing more frustrating than getting that part and you don't have the washers for the injectors. You don't have the gasket for the turbo, or you don't have the right fittings or O-rings or whatever you're going to need. I mean, it's nice that it comes in all them packages, and even if you have multiple O-rings that might work, and you've given us them too, you know, so that's
absolutely
very much appreciated, and timing and getting stuff back and running, you know. Yep. What you said the other things you do here are keeping the guys all busy with their stuff?
Yeah, basically managing the workflows of the technicians. So we got 9 full-time guys, as well as a few of the managers that wrench on pumps. So it's basically keeping all the technicians fed, what's on deck, what's up next, managing the efficiencies, you know, keeping the workflow. And then of course customers call and want your stuff. We gotta get it out as quick as possible. So you know, stock stuff comes into play too. Less downtime when the truck's down, the skid steer's down. We're not getting work done. We're not making money.
Right.
So people got to get their stuff back, and you know, well aware of that. We try to go the extra mile, stay late. You know, go the extra mile to get the stuff done in a timely fashion. So.
Right, and not all your stuff is pulling related. You know, you do a lot of work for you know, implement dealers. I know bring stuff here and get stuff taken care of, and then keeping You know, Ridgewood had nothing to do if he didn't have material to work with, would he?
Right,
Right. You got
right.
to make sure he's got something there to do.
That's right.
He might wander off. He'd see a squirrel and go
There you
chasing
go.
it down the
Yeah.
road or something if he didn't have something to work with.
He's always got a pile on his plate.
He does.
He wears many hats around here now. So.
Yep. That's. I think all you guys wear a few hats.
Yeah, you kind of have to with a small family business. It all goes with it. So.
Yep. So yeah, it's all fun. You want to show us a little bit of everything
Sure.
else you do, or
Yep,
just walk through here? And...
We'll go around, meet our technicians. I'll introduce you to Ron first here.
Okay. All right, Drew, you want to introduce the young man here?
This is one of our technicians, Ron.
Hi, I'm Ron. I am currently a student at Madison College. This is diesel technology. Part-time here at Fair Valley. I work on injection lines, injectors, and a couple other things, tanker stuff. But
Are you learning anything here?
a lot.
Are you?
A lot.
I wouldn't say that. Tell them you're not. You say I'm teaching.
Oh yeah.
No. No, I'm sure you're learning something. These guys
learning.
know their stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. There's a lot of guys here that know a lot.
Yeah.
So
A lot of, it's nice to work with somebody that knows their stuff, and
Yeah.
the teachers at school might have general knowledge of stuff, but they don't get into the
No.
fine stuff. Which that's their job.
yeah,
They can't.
We're learning a lot more on the whole machine rather than just the fuel system. It's kind of nice to know the fuel system.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
fun stuff to know.
So, future working here after school, you think?
Yeah.
Good. It's fun. Dennis and Jenny are good people to work for.
Yeah, they are.
Been around a long time. So and good to work with Drew too. He's been around a long time. He's pretty knowledgeable. I remember when he was just answering the phone up front too, and I think he learned a lot through the years. Yep.
Learned a lot over the years.
Yep. So, want to show us a little bit of what you do here?
Well, currently I'm working on a set. It's a P pump, P7100 with a leaned out plate with a Hypermax intake. Making some lines for it. And
Okay. Is this a mock motor or is this somebody's
Yeah.
motor? This is a mock motor.
this is a mock motor. These are all mock motors.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have 9 different engines, Internationals, Alice's, Fords, Case, 12 valve Cummins, ET407 we just got,
Yep.
big
And
block, small block.
myself as a puller, bending lines, never. I'm never doing it again. I had Casey come do them one time, and I said, I'm never doing it again. You made it look so easy, and it looks like you've been learning from Casey a little bit.
Yeah. Casey and Riley, Miles, yeah, they're all kind of pitching in, helping me out. So,
That's an art,
yeah.
to get them to look nice, because you say you got a guy there with a $200,000 motor, and then he bends his own lines,
Right.
and they're
You
just
see the rainbows and everything else.
Yep. And it's important to get the angles right and everything too. So it's got to sit on there, or you're going to break a line.
Right.
If you have to fight it to get it on there, then you're in trouble, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to make it look good and
Functional.
make it functional.
Yep.
So each set of lines is basically mocked up. As long as we have an engine for it, we mock up the pump that the customer's using. We'll figure out the intake manifolds, the right injectors. We mock it all up exactly how they're going to have it. Of course, nowadays you got all kinds of different intakes. You got setback pump mounts, deck plates. I mean, you name it. So there's just a lot of varieties out there. But we try to get as much information as we can, and then basically make it just for that one-off customer in house. And currently we have about 100 pattern line sets, all the different models of tractors, engines, manifolds, you name it. We got all kinds of mock-up pumps.
Once you get a set made, do you have a jig? You just have to make them up, or you'll make them all by hand on
We
the motor?
make them all by hand. So behind you here, he's got kind of a mock-up set, so they don't have ends on them, where we can basically set those in place, and we get them very close to
Okay.
our pattern set, and then we'll do the final tweaking on the actual engine itself.
Okay.
Start out like this, and they end like this.
Yep.
So
We take them from a raw chunk of steel, basically, and then they form the swedges on the hydraulic presses, put on the sleeves and nuts, and start bending them. So most of your pattern sets like this are anywhere from 3 hours to 4 or 5 hours
Yep.
per set of lines. They're all pretty much done by hand, and we got different fixtures and devices. So
Okay.
it's kind of basically a custom-made vise fixture there.
Okay. Yep. I've got the one I bought for mine, and I'll give it away because I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
I will never do it again. I wasted more time doing that, and they're ugly. It's a skill. It is a skill, and you have to have patience, and that's something I don't have. So, but how about the swedging machine? Can we take a look at that? Okay, here's the swedging machine. And what do you do there, Ron? Usually?
Usually start off taking this to the sander, kind of sand down, make sure it's flat, chamfer the side so it doesn't have a burr. And then we stick it in here. Stick it in these two little clamp blocks here. And put this collar around it. And we hold it. You got this depth. That turns into the nipple.
Okay.
So we'll set this in here and put that on top, push it down to whatever the weight is, and then take this off. We'll take it over after we swedge it down in there. We'll put it here in this little fixture, and we'll slide it down in there. We'll put these two blocks on here, and this is just to center it, and this will push down with the hydraulic press to the weight. Then we take it back out and pop it out.
Are they all pretty much, is it different weights for different hardnesses and different sizes?
Yeah, we got different weights for the size of the hole and then the size of the actual line, because you got quarter and then 5/16.
Did you ever put the swedge in and forget to put the nut on?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah, yeah, and then someone walked by and says, "So you're just gonna swedge that without nuts?" I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That was quite the first week of doing them.
That'd probably be a round of beers if you did do that, right? You have to buy a round of beer somewhere.
Bring in donuts.
Yep.
Donuts, yeah. Our guys is beer or ice cream.
All
So
right.
if they make a mistake, so yep. But well, that's neat. You know, a lot of people. I should show what the swedge is on one of the lines over here. Okay, this is the swedge right here, and this is to fit on either the injector end or the pump. They're the same.
Correct.
Right? You can go either way with them. And you got tall nuts or short nuts you can get. Most guys I know like the tall ones because they're easier to work on. But if you have something that's got to be bent too soon, you can't use the tall ones, you know.
Yep.
So in the shorter the lines, everybody likes shorter lines because they run better, supposedly, right?
Right. Most guys are going with the shorter lines. It's hence the center mid-mount pump kits.
Yep. Shorten them up.
You can reduce them by quite a few inches and get a little bit quicker timing.
Yep. Yep. Seems like you wouldn't think it'd make any difference, but it does.
Yep.
Right?
It does.
All right. Awesome already. Oh, we've got Miles here, young guy. How long you been here?
Year and a half.
Year and a half. Oh, that's pretty good then, right?
Yep.
Where are you from?
I'm from Sauk.
Are you from Sauk? What's your
Yep.
last name?
Brown.
I don't know any Browns in Sauk. I have an uncle, Bill Brown from Mineral Point, so I may be related to him. I don't know.
Oh.
There's some Browns in Lodi.
I'm mainly related to the ball eggs.
The ball eggs, okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
So, just kidding. But what do you do here?
I'm injectors. I'm pulling injection lines and turbos.
Okay.
So
What's your favorite thing to do?
probably turbos.
Turbos?
Yep.
All right. You learned much from the turbo specialist, Ridge? Take his spot?
No, not really.
Not really. He didn't teach you
More
anything?
more Riley than
Oh,
anybody.
Riley. Okay. All right.
Yep.
So I'm gonna switch my phone over here, and we'll you can show us what you got here.
All right.
All right, Miles. Here's your moment of fame. 15 minutes of glory. Here you go.
So here we got some John Deere KDEL billets. So they are dual spring, so you can get a dual spring and a single spring. They're just drilled out farther, deeper into the chamber of the injector for the spring to account for the other spring. And then triple feeds, 5x28 nozzles, so we have 5x.028 holes in them. DLC coated pintles, so they're pretty high end and everything. They're built to last more than anything.
Okay. And then are them triple feed?
Yep. So they're
Okay.
triple feeds, so lots of fuel going through them.
Explain how the fuel comes through and it gets to that.
So through this hole up here, we have 3 little holes that go through the body and they come out this side. So we'll have the 3. And then they go through the intermediate plate.
Yep.
And these are locating pins to make sure that they line up. And then they go through the nozzle, and in the nozzle, there's a feed passage that goes through and comes into here and then comes out your holes.
Right. And there's grooves down the pintle a little bit, or
No,
how
it's
does the fuel get down there?
It's a solid pintle, so
I wish I had a cash.
but it'll stop right in here, and then once it lifts up, because your pintle will lift up, it'll come down into here.
Yep.
And then once it shuts, it'll spray it out.
Okay. But what I meant, I guess, fuel gets around there. Fuel is what lubricates this too, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I should have. I misspoke there on fuel going through there. But you have fuel grooves in there for fuel to lubricate it, though, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Yep. And that's what keeps them cool and lubricated, right?
Yep.
So what's the advantage of going to 2 springs? Multi springs are just. Have they always been that way, or is that something?
I'm not really. I don't know much about that. I just put them together, use them,
Yep.
work on them.
All right. If you got leftover parts, what do you do with them?
They get all put up in here.
What happens if they aren't in there? They're supposed to be.
Oh, if I don't have them in there, then I just grab them from someplace else.
Do you go once you get them together? Do you go take them on the injector tester and pop them all?
Yep, we got one right here for us, ready to go.
All right. So, what's the pressure you look for them to
So
pop?
we have a whole sheet. So depending on the pump, we'll set the pressures higher for like a P pump, P7100 or P3000. We set them at 4500, and it just kind of goes down from there.
Okay.
So it's all different.
So, what do you do to change the pressure if it's not high enough or it's too high?
We have shims. So for a dual spring, every 5 thousandths goes up 100 psi, and then for a single spring, every 2 thousandths go up 100 psi.
Okay.
So it varies on the thickness of the shim. So it's all different.
And you shim them at the end of the spring. They sit here.
Yep. So what we'll do is we'll put one spring in to shim, and then another spring, and then your seat, intermediate plate, and then your nozzle.
Okay. So when you, I should say, if you have a single spring one, is that the same spring you use for a single spring, or do you have a different strength spring?
No, it's the same spring.
Okay.
Same spring. So if we really wanted to, I could pull this one right out and put the shim in, and then put this in, throw it all together, and
If it was a
works.
single spring.
Yep. If it was a spring.
I didn't know
single spring.
if the single spring one was heavier or not. So.
No.
All right. You want to show us how the tester works?
Sure.
So you're right at 4,000 there, that was your goal, right?
I got to go over. Our gauge is not correct,
Okay.
but we made sure to go over that. So
All right. Yep.
we're sitting at 4,500.
Okay.
This is for a Pro Farm tractor, so
Yep. Well, what is your highest pressure you run?
4,500.
4,500
Yep.
pretty much for everything?
Yep.
Yep. All
So
right.
that's the big stuff.
All right. Well, that's pretty cool. So you got all your tools here for checking. What do you use these for?
So the smaller pins we use for all our little tiny holes down here. So when we get a check-in job, we'll get a pin and we'll stick it in just to make sure. So these are like 5x28s. So we'll just go through and we'll get the 28 thousandths pin in, and it sticks in there.
Checked. Yep. So then you try a bigger one to make sure the bigger one don't go in, or if you can tell that one.
Oh,
was tight.
I could tell it was tight.
Yep.
So
Yep. So you're good. And you do all. This is a 5,000 one. You do all 5 and.
yep,
check
we'll
them all
go
out?
through and make sure they're not plugged or anything. So then with the bigger kit, what we'll do is we'll check all our like our bigger holes. So we'll go through the inlet hole and everything, figure that out, and we'll do our triple feed holes down here, and just to make sure that it.
Okay. How do you check to make sure that these triple feeds are all feeding the same, or can you, or you just hope they are? Or?
Well, what we'll do is we'll run it through our hot wash tank to see what holes are actually coming through and what's not plugged. And if it has a blown body, then we know that it won't come out of the nozzle, it'll just come out of your return.
Track body or something.
Yep.
Outside. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Perfect. Well, that was pretty informational, Nick. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you much. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, what do you got here, Christopher?
So we're here in our Sigma test bench room, and got a little unique piece of history there. That's actually one of the original Tinker Toy Sigmas from Columbus. I believe that was put together back in 2008. I do believe somebody might know more on the history of that, but what we can see, that was built in 2008 in the Tinker Toy, and that pump is actually in here right now. That's off a Super Semi. and it's in here for a service job from a truck that was down at the Pullers Championship and getting ready for his season. So it's in here, but it's kind of a unique piece of history that came in the other day, one off the Tinker Toy. And also laid out that you seen on camera there is one of our new billet Sigmas that's going together right now with our new housing there on the upper deck. And that's going into a 5.0 Pro stock is what this order is going to. So pretty excited about this one to go together, and that service one. And over here in our room then, this would be our test stand for the 100 horse test stand for our Sigmas. Scott that was on earlier was talking about that a little bit, that he runs this one. This is our high speed bench. So this one, we can actually run the P7100 up to about 4,500 engine RPM to simulate basically a dyno pass. So when we R&D some of our new stuff, they go onto this bench now. We put about a season worth of runs on the pump and then tear it down for inspection. So have one of our mock-up Sigmas on here right now to just kind of show what the bench looks like, and it's all custom bench, and this was the main test bench that Columbus had used that we had acquired. So we're just excited. Can't talk about it enough about our Sigma program that we got launched here, and our main focus right now, we're in the super stock diesel tractors, super stock diesel 4x4 trucks, and the 5.0 Pro stock class and the super semi class. So we have offerings for all those 4 of those classes currently, and looking forward to taking in some more service jobs this summer as well, and helping out a lot of great customers on some of the highest levels. We also connected with some pulling associations to do some special sponsorships in some of the classes that utilize the Sigma injection pump, so we're looking forward to that this summer as well.
Okay. What's your goal for CCs out of your Sigma program?
It's 2,350, I guess, is kind of what we're seeing. A lot of the fuel capability on our 18 millimeter plunger pump, and in the 5.0 Pro stock class, CC range in there is between like 18 to 1900 is what a 5.0 Pro is targets for, somewhere into that range. You know, you can never exact numbers, Greg, as you know, as CC is equivalent to horsepower, so you always kind of got a range when you talk about it. But well, but that's what we're up now, and of course we're growing and expanding, and there's it's the Sigma market is it's not as expansive as some of our other pumps that Trav talked about, like our 13 millimeters, that there's just a ton of tractors out there that utilize the P7100s, and the marketplace is small and really competitive. So we're excited to launch it and continue on the tradition that Columbus had, but it's a competitive market, and we're excited to get into it and excited to be a part of it.
Are you letting guys try them at the dynos?
Yeah, we do. Yep. We do. Similar to some of the other products we offer, we do have a dyno trial that we can work with you on to send it out to your place of dyno, and we work with you on that. And so yeah, that's an option that we're excited to get into. We got some 5.0 Pro stuff going right now with that, so real exciting things to come, Greg.
Yeah, and that's in the sales these days, nobody trusts you say it's better. You have to try it in the dyno, right?
Yep.
You do.
Yep.
I don't know many pullers that'll just go buy something on Word anymore. They want to see it working on the dyno.
Yep, and that's important to us too, is that things have to be dyno proven, and that's what we work a lot in our shop, that as we don't have an engine dyno here, and we don't dyno engines at FPP, but we dyno the injection pumps themselves, I guess. And so that's kind of our where we're going to in the future, is we do a lot more dyno simulations where we can do 5 or 6 runs back to back in a short period of time to make sure that our stuff is up to par, doing what we want it to do, and has that longevity.
Okay. What do you run for fluid in? Is it just diesel fuel in the pump and the test stand here?
Actually, in the test stand here, it's really similar to the injector test stand as well. It's a special test fluid that's kind of simulates diesel fuel, but it's a test stand fluid that we get that runs in all of our test stands.
Probably has more lubricity in it, so you don't.
Yeah, it is. It has a similar consistency to diesel fuel, but it's more of just a lubricity formula that has into it. Yep, but it simulates diesel fuel. It gets hot just like diesel fuel would running through. So we can simulate a lot of tests that way.
All right. I see the guys out there drinking beer and I feel left out. So it
Yeah.
must be getting to the end of the deal here.
Yeah, as we get to the more and more people that have been, introducing themselves on camera, now they're congregating for beer time. So
Right.
I gotta, cut it off there, Greg, because I know me and you are also getting a little thirsty here.
Yes, we are. All right. Thank you, Christopher. Thanks for
you.
everything. Colby, you're the one that starts it all here, right? It comes in the door and you're the first one to see everything, right? Mm-hmm. What do you do? Well, Colby first, where are you from?
Sauk City, Wisconsin.
What's your last name?
Bennett.
Bennett. All right, Colby Bennett. How old are you?
24.
24. How long you been here?
About a year,
A year?
I'd say. Started September 3rd.
Yep. What'd you do before this?
Worked at McFarland's and used to haul machinery.
Well, I know that. Yeah. Yep. So I'm in McFarland's a lot. He knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do? What do you do here now for Dennis in the back room? I'm gonna switch my phone. Give me a minute, guys. I'm gonna so I can put Colby in center stage. How about what you're doing here, Colby? What you got going on here?
So what I normally do is I cap everything up, either get it ready for blasting, like this one was a customer's, but now it's ours. So I just gotta rinse it off in the solvent tank over here, rinse it off, and then start tearing it down with all the tools on the wall. And then because it gets a little dirty, we got these where all the oil goes into there and then into the tank down there, and then we dispose of it.
Okay. What do you drain all the oil out of them before you start on cleaning them, or?
Usually we'll clean the outside first, and then we'll bring it over here, and when we start tearing it down, like taking all this out, the oil will start coming out here and going into the drip pan tray.
Okay. So you said this is one of your pumps now, right? So you do the same thing with everybody's pump, even a customer's pump, or this is something somebody traded in, I would guess?
Someone traded it in, so what we would do is just take it out. I would bag it in bags and get it ready for the machine shop to do their work and for the guys to rebuild them.
Yep. Somebody's got, like you said, you're the first one that gets to see everything here. You're not the last one though. That's the guy that what's your Jen at the shipping department, right? So everybody else is in between. So yeah, that's pretty neat. You like what you're doing here?
Yes, I get to do the dirty work, and
You get
I like it.
Right. You don't get in trouble with that part. 'Cause you're
No.
not. Yeah. There you go, right. Just do the dirty work and clean them up. So you got a blaster or something you put them in here, or how do you? What's your?
We got a sandblaster out there, and then after they get done blasting, we actually bring them over here and tumble them, and it just, with all these little rocks, it just makes it
Shines
shiny.
it up. So how long does it stay in the tumbler?
Usually about an hour, I'd say.
An hour. Yeah, I suppose you go too long, you wear too
Hour
much stuff
more.
off, huh? Yep. But it probably gets all the stuff off it, huh?
Pretty much just shines it up, gets in
Yeah.
the little cracks and stuff.
That's soft. That's not rocks, though. It's like plastic or something, isn't it? Yep. Well, that's pretty neat. And then you got the parts washer here, obviously. Clean it all up. That's pretty cool. So, and you're probably back here by yourself most of the time. Nobody bugs you, right?
Yes.
Right.
This is my little office.
That's
I
your
like to
office.
call it.
Can you kick people out when they come in here?
I wish I could, but no, I can't.
No, but it looks like you got some more to do under the bench there, and
Yeah, that's all cores
Yep.
came from junkyards, and just gotta tear them apart. And
so do you know does Dennis have orders at junkyards or something for special pumps if they come in looking for them or anything like
that
that?
I do not know.
Yep, that's what I was wondering. Or do they know that if they got something, they'll call him up and just say, "Hey, Dennis, I got this. I know you're looking for them." Maybe they do. I don't know. I'll have to ask him, huh? He's drinking beer already. I know Ridge was. That's not fair to us, is it?
No.
So, all right. Thank you much. And I see you got a little part here. This is one of them Sonic cleaners, right? That's pretty good. Put parts in there too. Them things work pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you, Colby. Thanks for everything you do, and have fun here. You got a good job.
Oh, I will.
Thank you.
Drew, that's awesome. You and Christopher both. That was pretty cool. There's a lot of, everybody's got their certain job there, and it goes through the whole assembly line, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, each one of them, I guess there's a lot of specialties. Several of the guys are really cross-trained, a lot of these younger guys now. So we used to be kind of niche where each guy had their own specialty, and that's kind of what they stuck to. But I guess we're probably over the last 5 years or so, we've really cross-trained where guys can do multiple different pumps and P pumps, Model 100, Standardines. So it just helps out a lot with workflow and timeliness. So.
You almost have to too, because if someone has something go on, or family situation, and aren't at work for a week or two or whatever, you never know what can happen. You got to be versatile. So
Right.
I can see cross train, and everybody gets the whole wealth of knowledge.
Yep.
They still training Christopher? Or?
Oh, he's pretty good. So Christopher knows quite a bit. He teaches me some things once in a while too.
I got to give him grief. I don't get to see him enough, so I got to give him a little grief.
Sometimes the old dog can learn new tricks too, just like Drew can do that. That is the fun thing though, John. At Fair Valley, everybody gets to learn a little bit from everybody. As you guys have seen, we got a lot of variety in some people have been there for 8 months, some people 11 years, 18 years, so and everywhere in between.
Yeah, and that's cool. And it's small family environment, and everybody. I can tell that everybody takes a lot of pride in what they do and what part of the puzzle that they do, and which shows. I mean, you guys have good products, and you see them out running on the pulling track, and not only that, even in the stock stuff. I've bought injectors up there, and brought a couple of people up and bought injectors for pickup trucks and put them in, and just your everyday truck, not a pulling truck or anything. So
yeah, we do some unique things. Not only the pulling is the majority of what we do, but we have some other unique things like you mentioned too to keep some people going across the country. Like today, John, I had an injection line come in the door for a Komatsu dozer from out in Ohio at a road building company in Ohio, and they could not find anywhere in the country that could have a Komatsu injection line for like a 2009 or 2010 Komatsu dozer. Nobody had it, can't find it. They found us online, and we made a new injection line, bent it to match for them, and it went in and out the door in the same day and got their dozer back going on the job site. So it's kind of fun for the guys too. Not only do they do the truck and tractor pulling all day long, but once in a while they get to help somebody out in the mechanical fuel system world to keep them up and going too.
yeah, I worked on my father-in-law's 656 this winter, and I brought the injectors up there, and you guys went through them. And I just asked them the other day. I had a head rebuilt on it, put a new head gasket on it. You guys redid the injectors, the cups, and got me everything to put it back together. And I put it back together, and I asked my father-in-law, now he's failing me. I'm like, well, how's the tractor run? He said, never run better. So he's happy. That's good.
Yeah, that's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
Good to
So
hear.
yeah, run good. Once you got it fired up in the shop and you got it out and warmed up, and sounds good. Yeah, he's loving it.
Yeah, that's definitely right.
What's one of your guys' favorite thing to do at work? I mean, something that, everybody's job, there's a certain piece of your job that you don't like. Everybody has that one thing. It's like, really? I got to do that? But there's also parts of the job that, oh yeah, I'll jump right on that. That's fun. I like doing that. What's yours, Drew?
I guess I handle all of the stock components. So pretty much anything stock, all your implement dealers, everything gets kind of funneled to me. And I do really enjoy that. I guess during the COVID years, we didn't have pulling. So of course I went out and I talked to all kinds of dealers and called them, introduced ourselves, brought in a lot of work for the stock to keep us running those couple of years there. And I really enjoy that when you got a guy, on a farm or an implement, and he's down with a machine like Christopher was just talking. It's really rewarding, to get him up and running as quick as possible and back to making a living. So get it done. So
yeah. How about you, Christopher?
Well, I got kind of a two-part answer. The first part is one of the things I enjoy the most is one of the things that Drew probably despises the most. or doesn't like as much as, but I really like it, is when I get to get out of the office and come back in the shop and give some of the technicians that we've seen in the video either give them a hard time about something or encourage them or show them something that a customer had said, some customer feedback about something they had just worked on, and get to go and share that with them. And sometimes it's a little interruption to their day, or they gotta take a 2-minute break and listen to my story, but it's that's always a fun part for me, is when I get to hear some customer feedback and get to run it back to the shop and let the guys know they either did a good job or they did something silly and it didn't work out for them. So it's fun either way. If something breaks, whether it's injection pump related or not, or a puller doesn't have as good a finish as they wanted to, we talk about that. If a puller's struggling, we're talking about them. If a puller's having success, we're talking about that too at the business. So it's fun to just kind of provide that feedback back to the technicians, because they're busy all day putting a pump together, and they don't get to see the social media or hear the phones going. So the other part is the customer relation. Like just right now, I just got a notification on my phone from a super stock diesel truck puller that we work with on a Sigma that had a really, really successful weekend this last weekend at his points tour. And I was just talking with him a little bit this evening about how his weekend went and wishing him the best of luck the rest of the year. So just got a response from him there, wishing him the best for the rest of the season. So that kind of stuff too, the feedback and seeing people be successful at their hobbies and their passion is one of the biggest things for me.
And truck and tractor pulling, it's and anybody, you guys get work in from anybody, whether it be implement or pullers. I mean, people, when they're down, whether it be pulling or farm tractor or dozer or whatever, I mean, people are looking for the turnaround, and that's got to be challenging with the schedule of this stuff, isn't it, with you guys?
Yeah, it is. I'll start with that. If I take something in, me, Maddie, Dennis, Carolyn, Drew, we get calls and we get something in. Well, there's multiple people that are funneling work in, and then it's Drew that has a big hand in making the schedule work out to get everything done and turned around. And that's where I was going with it at the first time, is he's got a plan orchestrated and he knows he's got minutes. There's only so many minutes in the day, and I get to come back there and razz on the guys for 2 minutes, and he knows that's interrupting the schedule, whether we get something done that day or not. Or so he's really proficient and really good at making sure our turnarounds are good that day, that week, or that month. We look ahead as far as we can. What do you, Andrew? You can add a little more to that.
Sometimes the 2 minutes turns into 15, 20 minutes worth of social media, and that's when you're watching efficiency. We're always racing the clock with shipping.
Yep.
UPS guy can show up at any time from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock, it seems like. So and let's face it, 10, 20 minutes counts. That's gonna be the difference between getting it out. We're next day airing packages every single day. We're getting them in next day or every day. So it's a big deal just to get it all coordinated, and minutes count. So it's definitely challenging, especially when I got 4 or 5 people all feeding me stuff. It's all right. Who do I got? Who's open? Who's up next? It's it's just a constant juggle, but it's pretty rewarding when you can make it all happen, and then you get to see the guys. And that's one of the things with pulling as well. All of those tractors make it down the track, and most of the fans don't have a clue what those pullers have went through, the late night hours, the trips across the country to get parts just to get there. It's really remarkable. So for us to be a part of that, we try to do the best job that we can. So we're not the ones letting people down. So
Yeah.
John, I got to add one more thing, John, for you on that. You know, Drew reminds me of my fourth grade teacher because I always would get up from my desk and I got a 10-second story to tell my friend, and my teacher knew that it would take me 5 minutes. And that would usually lead to, I'd have to stay after school a few times for not staying at my desk. So he's kind of my fourth grade teacher at the shop. Exactly, John.
Christopher.
Yep. That's how it goes.
Yeah, but you're so excited that you got to tell this guy that. So and it does. You're right. You know, I've been a part of that over the years. You know, driving and my own stuff and helping others with their tractors, and they break and there's a pull tomorrow. There's a lot of sweat going on to get that thing tore apart. And if you got parts, put it back together, or spare pump, or whatever it may be to make that next run tomorrow. And everything's got to click. And sometimes you win some by getting them done, and sometimes you don't. I mean, you never know. You know, it's just that type. But yeah,
Yep.
but you doing your part. You know, you said, Drew, that hey, we got our part. We got it shipped out. You know, it's good to go, and just got to get it together. So
Right.
yeah, it's all time. There's never enough time.
That's right. Not enough hours in a day.
Never enough hours in a day. Yep. Yeah, and the older you get, faster time goes.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on with us again tonight. And we got one more next week, so hopefully we'll see you next week, and we'll talk about the last. And you guys can stick around if you want. We're gonna chat with Jamie.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John, for having us again. And I think Dennis and Jenny are going to be on for the final part to kind of wrap up this series. And we thank you, John and Greg, for all you do for that. And a special shout out for Drew. Drew watches a lot of the Down and Dirty shows on Monday nights, and now he gets to be on one. So he's almost famous Drew Schulenberg on Down and Dirty.
Oh, it's an honor to be on here. I do watch pretty much every Monday night. So
Awesome. Well,
really great thing you guys do here. So
we have a lot of fun, and it's great having you guys come on and show your part of the story with everything too. And that's kind of what we try and do, is put all the pieces together so people can see behind the scenes what goes on. And this is just a perfect example of you guys at Bear Valley Performance. And, you know what it really takes to get an injection pump or injectors or lines made, and to get somebody out on the track. You know, the turbochargers, big piece of the puzzle.
Yep, definitely. So appreciate it, John, and enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
yep. Thanks.
Jamie Stevenson, the Tobacco Town Showdown is coming up.
Yes, sir. How you doing, John?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
Good to be seen.
How's everything going down at the park?
Well, it's I believe it's coming together. Wife and I had to come out to Western Pennsylvania this weekend for a wedding.
Oh,
So we left home Wednesday morning. So we won't get back to the park till Thursday. I won't be, but I had hit lists for the guys back at the park, and they got things going. I got a nice picture of your new announcer stand this afternoon from John Sislak. It's looking really good. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Ronnie Finster sent me a couple pictures a few weeks ago that they just got it out, just got the platform on it. That's pretty nice.
Right. I think concrete's under it now. They got board and batten on 3 sides of it. Looks like they just got to put up the staircase and finish off the back side, and that'll be ready to go. So
Nice.
yes.
Nice. You guys gonna sell beer and stuff underneath that?
Well, the beer will probably stay in the Benzebo yet, but with a possibility for a food vendor to be under there if need be or want be, and stuff like that. So, yep.
Awesome. Yeah, that looks like it's to be really nice. Be up nice and high and be able to see, and yeah, that'll be cool.
You're 8.5 feet off the ground, so
Perfect. See right over everybody.
yeah, you'll get a bird's eye view.
Bird's eye view. Yep. Did you guys you guys got your new building down there in the new, well, not new, but the motors in there now too, didn't you, from Fairbanks Morse?
Yes, the Bear Powerhouse, the building itself was completed last fall. They got the concrete in it this spring early and all the foundations and footings poured for them engines. It's quite an engineering feat the way they have to mount down. And they've got, I think there's 2 or 3 engines left to go in there yet to be set in place. But then they're going to start on the all the fuel piping and cooling system piping and the exhaust piping and all that. It's coming along nicely. It's going to be very, very neat attraction to our show.
Is it you guys hoping to have that operational for Labor Day weekend?
There's a possibility we may have 1 or 2 of them ready by then, but it's a lot bigger undertaking than most people would probably realize.
Yeah.
But,
you guys do a lot just, promoting and doing a truck and tractor pull, and then let alone, for the fans that are watching every Labor Day down at Rock River Thresherman's Park, you go down there and see the Rock River Threshery, and it's anything from steam engines, a locomotive running around there, sawmills going. There is so much to see there. It's amazing.
Yep, we have a good time on it. 4 days worth over Labor Day weekend. And like you say, there's threshing, there's plowing, there's sawmill, there's a steam pile driver, the steam train, all the big engines, gas engines galore, flea market. There's something for everybody there. Getting a lot more higher quality food vendors in there too. So, you can come hungry if you want. There'll be something for everybody.
Are you guys shooting fire Saturday night down there again this year?
Spark show. Yeah, they usually do a spark show one night, usually Saturday, I believe, and Sunday possibly.
Yeah.
Last couple of years, community antique tractor pullers have been bringing their sled in. And on Saturday night, we have, just a club. Anybody that's got tractors there can hook onto it and pull down the track. So we have a little bit of fun with that too. And Saturday nights, Saturday late afternoon and Saturday night.
That's cool. Adam Steve says Edgerton is one of my favorite pulls. So he's
good.
4-1 tractor, yeah. The slow ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm to the pull, so the 5th, and it starts at noon for Badger trucks. You got Pro Street Diesel trucks, altered stock trucks. South Central Tractor Pullers going to have the altered farm tractors, and kind of a good way to get the track kind of groomed in and settled in before Badger State starts.
Yes, sir. 5 classes with Badger State this year. We had the Hot 466 Hot Farm, the Super Farms, Pro Stock Trucks, Pro Stock Tractors, and the 4-1 Limb Pros. So
all the big hitters are all coming to town, and you guys have done a lot to that track and that facility in a short time. So this is the 4th year or 5th year you guys had the poll?
This is our 5th. Yep, this is the 5th anniversary. So
yeah, 5th. Yeah, and just that short of time, the amount of stuff you guys have done and changed and made so much better there. It's just amazing what you guys have done.
Well, thank you. It's been a lot of work, but we've got a vision.
Uh-oh, he froze up.
Well, he has a vision.
He's got a vision. He's still visualizing. Hopefully, there's rethinking. You back? Oh, he froze up again. Good showing down there. Good food. Like you said, food vendors for their show that they have Labor Day weekend, but even the food vendors that are down there are awesome. The pork chops down there you'll never find a better one. I swear to goodness. I don't know, between that and Mazo, that's a pretty tight gig as far as that goes. But it's awesome down there. You can park down there, and they bring the tractors and the wagons out. They bring you right up into the park. Plenty of parking. Right up there. Anybody that's handicapped, you don't have to worry about walking or trying to roll so far. They'll get you up there and get you right to come in. And it's pretty cool. You know, all the old tractors and that to bring in there too. Are you back, Jamie?
I think he's still frozen.
He froze
What's
up on
going
us
on
again.
here?
Nope.
Oh, we can hear you. We get a second or then he locks up. It must be your internet there.
Yeah. I wonder if a storm is going through there.
Oh, is it storming over there?
Well, we have storms right now, so I don't know if any pop-ups
Oh.
popped up down there at all yet. But it's storming here right now.
Oh, is it? Well, he's in I think Pennsylvania. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Probably in the Wi-Fi there, but
Yeah.
storms here tonight in our local area. So, which moisture down there, that track, that's going to be a horsepower track. Be a little moisture down there. So, hoping the weather is good for the weekend. And I haven't looked that far out yet. I just got my fingers crossed, make sure, because this is a fun event. And anybody has a chance, this is definitely a good show to go to. You get limited pro stock and pro stocks there, pro stock trucks, super farm, and hot farm. And that's just a whale of a show.
Yeah, for $10 for adults, you can't beat that show for that price.
You know, kids 5 to 12 years old are $5, and kids under 5 are free. That's a good gig. That's a good deal.
I don't know.
Now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Did you freeze up again?
No.
I think you did. we gave it our valiant effort.
Yeah. For an afternoon poll, they've had really good success with the weather. You know, sometimes and this time of year it could be like the last couple weekends in the 90s.
Yeah. Good weather. You know, like you said, new announcer stand. They got a lot of great sponsors that come on board too. You know, Nutrient Ag, Carlos Shell, and Boucher Auto Group that help out. There's a list of them, and
United Alloy, I think down there.
United Alloy on there. Yeah, they got a lot of help, and that's cool. And the whole group of them, you know, it's a lot of work putting a pull on. And Greg says it too. I think everybody should try and put an event on just to really see what it takes behind the scenes leading up to that event. And you know, a successful event, you don't just start planning it 2 weeks before. As soon as the event is over, like this event Saturday, they'll be planning for next year already. You know, so like you said, got a vision, and they're putting on a good show. They want to have a good show.
Yeah, this really leads into then fair festivals, fair season, and then it really ramps up after this weekend.
Oh, after this weekend, then it's game on. Yeah, Jefferson County Fair, and
we got the triple crown after this.
Yes, the Triple Crown. That's right. Yeah, the Triple Crown for the pro stocks and be extra money added in for Jefferson County Fair, Sauk County Fair, Darlington. So the pro stocks run all three. So I think the deal is whoever has the best out of all three wins the extra $5,000, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing it like a point system, like the lowest points. I can't remember what Bill said, but probably if you best finishes between all three, you'll get the extra purse. And I think the 4-1s are getting some extra. They're doing something as well, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's see if we can get Bill back on and talk about that next Monday night too for a little bit.
Yeah, because next week it really starts to ramp up on the Badger State circuit.
Yep. And for those of you coming to the polls, our Badger State raffle tickets, we're doing the raffle again this year. 25,000 for first, 15,000 for second, 10,000 for third. Wherever I'm at announcing, I got tickets. So if anybody did, come buy tickets. There's only 1,000 tickets being sold, and I have tickets with me. If you see me, I got them. So get yourself some before they're gone. That's all I got to say.
Yes. Maybe Jamie's back. I'm not sure.
Is he back? Round 3?
In and out.
Oh, digital voodoo again.
Yep.
Digital voodoo. So, all right. Well, let's close it.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for watching every week. And thank you, Jamie. And we will see you. You drinking Pabst already. We'll see you Saturday. So the Tobacco Town Showdown. We can't wait to be there. It'll be a lot of fun. We want to thank Slama Enterprises, Casper Egg, Trip Downing, Front Street Toys, and Wet and Camp Transport for sponsoring Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. Thanks for coming on, Jamie, if you can hear me. Thank you, Ryan, for all that you do for us. And thank all you fans for watching every Monday night and coming to all the Badger State polls. We'll see you Saturday. Hopefully everybody comes out. We'll see you Saturday. Stop up, say hi. And we'll see you next Monday night right here. So everybody have a good night. Take care.